Hello student, in today's class we are going to discuss simple interest and compound interest exercise part 6. Now our index is memory based question which are asked in banking exams and then summarize our today's lecture. Disclaimer is the images used in our slide deck are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creator and owners of these images. If you are the owner of any of the images used in this deck and have any concern or issues, please contact us at sathee@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the images. Now first see the formula related to simple interest and compound interest. First formula of simple interest, which is P into R into T upon 100. So simple interest, SIE represented by simple interest, P represent principal, R represent the rate of interest and T represent the time. For calculating amount will be simple interest plus principal amount. So P again represent principal, A represent amount and SI represent simple interest. So how we can calculate the compound interest? So formula will be compound interest equals to P into in the bracket 1 plus R upon 100 to the power n minus 1. Here CI equals to compound interest, P equals to principal, R equals to rate of interest and n equals to time. Formula for calculating amount or principal or rate. So if we know the formula of amount at compound interest. So amount is equals to P into in the bracket 1 plus R upon 100 to the power T, where A represent amount, P represent principal, R represent the rate of interest and T represent the time. If we need to calculate the difference between CI/SI for 2 years, so we can directly calculate it PR square upon 100 square. We get the difference between CI and SI for 2 years. But if we need to calculate the difference between CI SI for 3 years, so we use the formula PR square in multiplying by in the bracket 300 plus R upon 100 cube. Formula for calculating installment on simple interest. So let each installment be A rupees. So A equals to 100p upon 100 into T plus R into T in the bracket T minus 1 by 2. Clear? Next. Formula for calculating population an year ago. So population for an year ago, P upon 1 plus R upon 100 to the power n. Clear? P represent the population, R represent the rate of change in population or n represent the number of year. So formula for calculating population after an year. So it will become P into 1 plus R upon 100 to the power n. Now we will see some questions. First question is, what amount a man would have received on a principal of rupees 4,000 after 2 years simple interest at 5% per annum? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now the question says that principal of rupees 4,000, time is 2 years, rate of interest is 5%. So what is the amount? Amount is principal plus simple interest. So we just use this formula P plus P into R into T upon 100 and we get the answer. So we put the value 4,000. We can take common. So 1 plus 5 into 2 upon 100, which becomes 4,400 rupees. So C is the correct answer. Next one. The simple interest accrued on an amount of rupees 2,500 at the end of 6 years is 1,875. What would be the simple interest accrued on the amount of rupees 6,875 at the same rate and same period? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time starts now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Let the rate of interest is %. So we know the simple interest, which is 1,875. We know the principal amount, which is 2,500. We know the time, which is 6 years. It is given in the question. Clear? So we just put these values and we calculate the value of R, which becomes 12.5%. So the required of simple interest on 8,675 for 6 years, it will become 5,156 rupees 25 paise. Or we can say that 5,156.25 rupees. So E is the correct answer. Next one. Manish borrowed a sum of rupees 1150 from Anil at simple interest of rupee of 6% per annum for 3 years. Then he added some more money to borrow some and lent it to the Sunil for the same time at 9% per annum at simple interest. If Mani's gain is 274.95 rupees by way of interest to borrow some as well as his own amount from the whole transaction, then what is the sum lent by him to Sunil? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now first need to understand the question. Let the sum lent by Manish to Sunil be X rupees. Clear? So simple interest received when Manish borrowed from Anil is equals to is given. We can calculate it. Clear? So when we calculate it, we get 1150 multiplying by 6 multiplying by 3 because all these three datas are given divided by 100 which is 207 rupees. Now Manish added some money to borrowed some and gave it to Sunil. Clear? Hence he gained 274 rupees 95 paise, or we can say that 274.95 rupees. Now according to question, if he let x rupees, x into 9 into 3 upon 100, which he get 207 plus 274.95. On solving, we get the value of x, which is 1785 rupees. So B is the correct answer. Next one. Suhit borrowed a sum of rupees 6300 from Vikas at the rate of 14% per annum for 3 years. He then added some more money to the borrowed sum and lent it to the Mohit at the rate of 16% of simple interest for the same time. If Suhit gained rupees 618 in the whole transaction, then what is the sum he lent to the Mohit? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now, according to question, if Mohit lent X rupees, so we can say that X into 16 into 3 dividing by 100 minus 6300 which is given. First, Shuit borrowed 6300 for 14% rate of interest for 3 years. Dividing by 100 and the difference between them is 618 because Suhit gained 618. So the difference between both of the simple interest is 618. So what will be the value of X? Which is 6800 rupees. So B is the correct answer. Next one. Arun invested a sum of money at a certain rate of simple interest for a period of 4 years. Had he invested the same sum for a period of 6 years, the total interest earned by him would have been 50% more than the earlier interest. Interest amount. What was the rate of interest? Percent per annum. Clear? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now, in first case, if simple interest be x, so what will be the first case will be x equals to p into r into 4 upon 100. And according to the second case, 1.5x equals to p into r into 6 upon 100. Now you can understand that, analyze that there are 3 variables and only 2 equations. So we cannot calculate this question. Clear? So we cannot find it. So the question will be, we cannot determine the rate of interest. Clear? So the given information is incomplete. So D is the correct answer. Mayuri took a loan at simple interest at rate of 6% per annum in the first year and it increased by 1.5% per annum every year. If she pays 8,190 rupees at interest at the end of 3 years, what was her loan amount? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. According to question 8190, Mayuri pay because of the rate of interest increased after 6% per annum, 1.5% per annum every year. First year is 6%. So what will be the simple interest? First year will be P into 6 into 1 upon 100. Next year it will become P into 7.5 multiplying by 1 upon 100. In last year it will become P into 9 into 1 upon 100. So the total sum is equals to total simple interest is equals to 8190. When we calculate it, we get the value of P, which is 36,400. Is the correct answer. Next one. Hina invested an amount of rupees 10,250 rupees at 4% per annum to obtain a total amount of rupees 12,710 on simple interest after a certain period. For how many years did she invest the amount to obtain the total sum? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. So just interpret the question. Then you understand that Hina invested the amount 10,250, but the total amount was 12,710. So the simple interest will be amount minus principal amount. We get the simple interest, which is 2,460. Now the question says that if simple interest is this, so in how many years? So rate of interest is 4%. So 10,250 multiplying by 4 multiplying by t upon 100. So we get the value of t, which is 6 years. A is the correct answer. Next one. Rupees 600 becomes 720 in 4 years when the interest is simple. If the rate of interest is increased by 2%, then what will be the total amount? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now, according to question, we calculate R because we know that the simple interest. So, simple interest multiplying by 100 upon principal multiplying by time is equals to R. We know that the simple interest, which is 120 multiplying by 100 upon 600 into 4. So, we get the rate of interest, which is 5%. So, if rate of interest increased by 2%, it means rate of interest become 7%. So, what will be the simple interest? Simple interest will be 600 multiplying by 7 multiplying by 4 upon 100, which is 168. So what will be the amount? Principal plus simple interest. So 600 plus 168 will become 768 rupees. Clear? Next one. Anil invested an amount for rupees 3 year at simple interest rate of 9% per annum. He got an amount rupees 19,050 at the end of 3 year. Clear? What principal amount did he invested? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now the question says it. Anil invested an amount for 3 years. So we let the amount. So the principal amount be X rupees. Clear? So interest earned will be 19,050 minus X. Clear? So now the principal will become interest, simple interest into 100 upon time into rate. So we just put these values. So X equals to, this is our principal. Clear? So 19,050 minus X is our simple interest. Clear? Multiplying by 100 upon 3 into 9. When we calculate it, we get the value of X, which is our principal, which is 15,000 rupees. So C is the correct answer. Next. What is the interest received on a principal of rupees 450 rupees for 2 years if the interest received on rupee 1 after 4 years at the same rate of simple interest is rupees 0.40? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Interest on rupee 1 in 4 years is 0.4. So interest on 100 rupees for 4 years will become 40 rupees. So interest on 100 in 1 year will be 10 rupees. So interest equals to principal into time into rate upon 100, we can say that. So we know the value, which becomes 450 multiplying by 2 multiplying by 10 upon 100, which is rupees 90. So A is the correct answer. Asmita invests an amount of rupees 9,535 at the rate of 4% per annum to obtain the total amount of rupees 11,442 on simple interest after a certain period. For how many years did she invest the amount to obtain the total sum? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time starts now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now let the required time is T year. Clear? So what will be the simple interest? Simple interest will be amount minus principal. So this is amount, this is principal. When we calculate it, we got 1,907 rupees. And we know the simple interest formula is equals to P into R into T upon 100. So we can calculate by this formula time. So we just put these values. 1,907 is equals to 9,535 multiplying by 4 multiplying by T upon 100. So we get the T equals to 5 year. So C is the correct answer. Next one. Mrs. Susma lent out an amount of rupees 3,000 at 4% per annum and some other amount at 5% per annum. If at the end of the year she received rupees 138 as total interest, what amount she lent out at 5% per annum? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time starts now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now the question says it. Susma received total simple interest is as 138 rupees. Clear? So we can write it in the formation of 138 equals to P1 into R1 into T1 upon 100 plus P2 into R2 into T2 upon 100. When we calculate it, we get the value of P2, which is 360 rupees, because we know the value of P1. P1 is 3,000 rupees. We know the R1 and R2, which is 5% and 4%. R1 is 4% and R2 is 5%. So we just put these values and we get the value of P2, which is 360 rupees. So E is the correct answer. Next one. A person invests rupees 2 lakh at 12% per annum for 1 year. If he invests rupees 500 more, he is eligible for 13% per annum interest. How much more interest would he receive if he accept the second option? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time starts now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now the simple interest formula is PRT upon 100. So in the first case, question says that you have invested 2 lakh for 12% per annum. For 1 year, you will get 24,000 simple interest. But in the second case, when you invest only 5,500 rupees more, it means 2 lakh 500 multiplying by 13 multiplying by 1 upon 100, you will get 26,065 rupees. So how much we get more? 26,065 minus 24,000. So we get 2,065 rupees more as a interest. So D is the correct answer. Next one. A certain sum of money amount to rupees 756 in 2 years and 873 rupees in 3.5 years. Find the rate of interest. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time starts now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. So it would be very time saving if we go to the unitary method in this question. Clear? So the difference between these 2 years, 1.5 year, simple interest is 873 minus 756, which is 117. And this is the simple interest of 1.5 year. So what will be the simple interest for 1 year, which is 78. So we can easily calculate for 2 years simple interest, which is 156. When we subtract it from the amount, we get the principal amount. Clear? So the principal is 600. So now we can calculate rate of interest. Simple interest, we know that for 1 year is 78 rupees and principal is 600. Time is 1 year. So rate of interest will become 13%. So C is the correct answer. Next question is, what annual payment will discharge a debt of rupees 770 due in 5 years? The rate of interest being 5% per annum. You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. We use the formula of installment. So the annual payment will discharge a debt for rupee A due in T years at the rate of interest per annum. So we can write it in the formation of 100A upon 100T plus RT into T minus 1 by 2. So we just put these values in this question. Clear? So our debt is rupees 770. So we can write it 100 into 770 upon time is 5 years. So 5 into 100 plus 5 into T is given 5 year and rate of interest is also 5. Clear? But when we T minus 1 is equals to 5 minus 1, which is 4 by 2, when we calculate it, we get the installment, which is 140 rupees. So E is the correct answer. Next one. The rate of interest for the first 2 years is 3% per annum. For the next 3 years is 8% per annum. And for the period beyond 5 years is 10% per annum. If a man gets 1520 rupees as a simple interest for 6 years, how much money did he deposit? You have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. So first we let his deposit is 100 rupees. So interest for first 2 years at the rate of 3% per annum. So it will be 6. For next 3 years, it will become 24. For interest for last year is 10. Clear? So total interest is 40 rupees. Our deposit was, our principal amount is 100. Clear? So when interest is 1520, so what will be the deposit? We can easily write it 100 upon 40 multiplying by 1520, which becomes 3800. So D is the correct answer. Next one. Question is, divide rupees 4758 into 3 parts so that their amount after 2 year, 3 year and 4 year respectively may be equal. The rate of interest being 5% per annum. Find the amount of the first part. You have again 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Now time's up. Let's see the solution. Now the question, according to question, amount of the first part, it will become 110 upon 100. Clear? Second part will be 115 upon 100 into second part. Third part will be 120 upon 100 into third part. Clear? Now these amount are equal. So we can say that 110 into first part is equals to 115 into second part is equals to 120 into third part, because it is given in the question. Clear? So first part ratio, second part ratio, third part ratio will become 1 upon 110 ratio 1 upon 115 ratio 1 upon 120. So when we make them in integer form, we can get solution to be continued. We multiplying them 23 into 24, 22 into 24 and 22 into 23. Solution to be continued. So we get the ratio 276, ratio 264, ratio 253. Hence, dividing rupees 4758 into 3 parts in this ratio, we have first part is 1656, second part is 1584 and third part is 1518. So the first part is 1656 is the correct answer. Next one. With a given rate of simple interest, the ratio of principal and amount of a certain period of time is 4:5. After 3 years with the same rate of interest, the ratio of the principal and amount become 5:7. The rate of interest per annum is, you have 5 options and 10 seconds to analyze the question. Your time start now. Time up. Let's see the solution. Now, we can say that after t year, let p equals to 4x. It will become, because it is given in the question, after a period of time, ratio will become 4:5. Clear? And amount is 5x. Principal is 4x, amount is 5x. So amount is equals to principal plus simple interest for t year equals to 5x. This is our equation first. Now the second condition, p ratio p plus si for t plus 3 year. Because after 3 year, with the same rate of interest, the ratio of the principal and amount become 5:7. Clear? So when we calculate it, we get the ratio which is become p plus simple interest for 3 year is 28x upon 5. Clear? On subtracting equation 1 from equation 2, we get simple interest for 3 year, which is 3x by 5. Solution to be continued. Now, on simple interest for 4x for 3 year will be 3x by 5. So, what will be the rate of interest? We just put the value 100 into 3x upon 5 upon 4x into 3, which is 5% per annum. Now, summarize our today's lecture. What is simple interest? Simple interest is calculated on the principal amount or the initial sum of money throughout the entire period of the loan or invested. Formula of simple interest, SI equals to PRT upon 100, where SI represents simple interest, P represents principal amount, R represents rate of interest, and T represents time in year. Characteristics, interest is constant and does not change over time. Second one is commonly used for short-term loans or investment. Clear? Second one, compound interest. Compound interest is calculated on the principal amount and also on the interest that has been added to its over previous period. This means interest is earned on interest. Formula of amount equals to P into in the bracket 1 plus R upon 100 to the whole power T. A represents the total amount after interest, P represents the principal amount, R represents the rate of interest, T represents the time. What is the characteristics of the compound interest? The interest grow exponentially over time, more beneficial for long-term investment or loan, as the amount earned can be significantly increased. Thank you.